Hey everyone, it's Lady Night, and it's December 2019, so the perfect time to sit down and reflect about the entire year, but also I want to include my November and December recap in this video, and I have a little book haul because I'm not going to show any decks today. All the favorite decks of 2019 I'm going to save for the 31 Days of Tarot. That is happening in January, hosted by Ethany. Which brings me to the beginning of what I want to talk about, the list of things that happened this year. And usually I'm one of those people at the end of the year, the bad things are more stuck in my mind, and so I always think, oh, next year is going to be better. This year was kind of meh. But writing all of these things down, looking at it, apparently this has been a pretty good year. So I need to write down things more often. So let's just go through the year really quick. In January, I participated in the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge for the first time since I started my TarotTube channel in summer of 2018. That was the first time for me to participate, and originally I had started making the first videos behind the camera as kind of like a show and tell. But then there were some topics where I thought, what am I going to show? And then I started falling behind a little bit because life. And then I thought, well, maybe I can just give this in front of the camera thing a try, because I was actually afraid of that. And now at the end of the year I can say I think I got over my fear. It might take a few attempts to start a video, like right now this is attempt number 4 because language is hard, and otherwise I think I can say that I got quite comfortable in front of the camera. And the more often I make videos, like in the summer when I did quite a few videos, I got more and more comfortable and it felt a little bit easier. So yeah, I don't mind anymore. So I think I'm going to stay in front of the camera. Also, for me, getting into, like, throughout 2019, this YouTube journey has been really great. I got to meet online some really great people. I found some great channels. I had some great interactions with people in the comment sections, in live chats, commenting under people's videos and then getting comments back and kind of starting conversation, or people commenting under my videos and kind of, you know, reaching out to one another. And this has just really been amazing. So far I have not made any negative experiences in this YouTube verse, not on this channel, no. So yeah, I'm definitely going to continue in 2020. And also the 31 Days of Tarot, I'm going to participate again, but in 2020 I don't think I'm going to be doing every single prompt, because there are some prompts where I don't really have anything to say, and so I'm just going to do the ones that kind of apply to me, where I have something to offer. And yeah, so in January I made a lot of videos. February, I think I had 2 or 3 videos maybe, and then it was a real Five of Pentacles moment. Like, that was my card of the month, the Five of Pentacles, and it really came true. Not a good month next. And then until summer, until my summer break, I got really quiet on my channel because I just had a lot of stuff to do at work and I didn't really feel inspired to do any videos. But then in July, I started again on my birthday, because it was also my 25-year witchiversary, which was a big milestone for me. And I have to say I'm really glad still to this day that I chose this life, that I was able to choose this for myself, that my family was not involved in any religion, and that I was free to kind of just window shop, like look around what's out there, read about it, yeah, just find my own way, knowing that this, what I chose for me, is really because I want this, not because someone else suggested it or I was born into it. Because indirectly I was, because, yeah, the female line in my family, they're all witches one way or another. They're all spiritually active, more or less. Some of them haven't told it, so yeah, but that's a different story. Yeah, I also got to make some videos outside in the summer, and that I really enjoyed, and I can't wait for winter. Well, winter hasn't really started technically, but I can't wait for winter to be over, for us to move into spring, to have longer days, more sunshine, nice weather, so that I can go outside again and film, because that I really, really enjoyed, and I want to do that again. And also, yeah, just, it's so much, I don't know, happier outside than just sitting in my apartment doing this here. I just love being out there. And something that I started thinking about in the summer was, I was watching a few people talk about their depth year in 2019, and I was thinking, okay, the whole concept of depth year is a great thing when it comes to actually studying deeper, because one of the things that I initially planned to study this year was the court cards. Have I? No. But so what I want to do, or what I came up with, is instead of doing a depth year where I only work with what I have, I'm going to do a focus year, or actually I set out to do 2 years, because I picked 3 topics, and I think having a mundane life where you have to go to work and time for studies is kind of limited. 1 year might not be enough, so I'm gonna dedicate 2 years to those 3 topics, which will be astrology, past lives, and what was the other one? Oh, angels and spirits. And I have since then gathered a lot of materials from my witchy library. I have been shopping on Amazon Marketplace, trying to find really good deals, and I got like a stack of books like this big next to me of things that I was getting in November. So I'm gonna get to those in a minute. Yeah, in September I went back to work, and I got some kind of, well, I already knew before the summer break that I was going to produce a video for an opera, which I talked about in my September recap. And yeah, in September I did that, and it was amazing. It was a whirlwind production, because out of the 6 hours that we had initially planned to do this video shoot in, we only had 2.5 hours total at the end, in the end, and we still managed to pull it off, and it was just, what a ride, like, really. But yeah, everyone was happy with the outcome. I'm very proud of it, and that was, yeah, I'm not going to say once in a lifetime, because it might happen again, maybe, fingers crossed, but it was definitely something special for me. And then, what else? So in October, I started gathering my materials for my focus year, and I rearranged my tarot shelf. I also did a video on that. And started looking at the books that I had, the decks that I had, reorganizing them, putting them into different categories so that I have everything ready on January 1st to start. And I'm really excited. I can't wait, honestly, to really get into that. I think astrology might be the starting point, because now it's looking more and more like that is the first thing that just jumps out at me. And everything else I'm going to slowly kind of bring into that. Yeah, I'm still working on my study plan, when I'm going to do what. Definitely one thing I'm going to do for the past life stuff is I'm going to do that during the Mercury retrograde. I have talked about that a little bit in my last video, which was part of the hashtag New Beginning 2020, which was in November, another highlight for me. So I talked about karmic shadow work, and that doing past life readings, like a really good time for that is Mercury retrograde, which involves all things past. And so that is something that I'm definitely going to do during those Mercury retrogrades. I'm really going to focus on past life reading stuff. Okay, what else? By accident, kind of, I had a no deck November. I didn't plan to have this because I was thinking of buying 2 decks in November, but the one that actually did come out, the Mausolea Oracle of Souls, I have not bought yet. I have put it on my wish list, or I'm keeping it on my wish list for now, because it is a nice to have but not a must have at this point. And so I'm just going to look at the price and maybe wait for a price reduction, a coupon, whatever. So yeah, I'm not going to buy it right now because I don't think I'm going to be using it right now, especially with my very specific topics of studies coming up. I don't really see me reaching for that deck at the moment. So that will be for later. And the one that I really wanted to buy, the second part of the Angularium, Oracle of Watchers, it's still not out. It was originally supposed to be out September 8th, and then that got pushed back to November 8th. It still says that on Amazon, even though we're already past December 8th. But yeah, I have not pre-ordered it because I at this point I'm kind of unsure, like, is it really going to be published or not? There's no update on the creator's website, so nothing. And yeah, I hope that deck comes out soon because I want to include that in my angel studies. So what else? Yeah, so something that I did in December, I'm already moving into my focus year. And I started with this bullet journal, and what I did was I decided to make, since I'm not really big on journaling, I decided to make an astrology journal. So on December 1st, I just put down that I decided to do this. And then what I've been doing, can you see that with the light? So the in the black ink, that's always the astrological kind of daily weather report that I'm writing down. And everything in red is, at the end of the day, I'm going to write what actually happened so that I can compare these things and then have kind of like my own personal, how do I call this? It's like I'm creating reference points for myself, because once I'm going to study astrology, and I'm really doing this every day, every once in a while I will draw some cards based on some questions that I have, and I will include that down below, writing the question and then what cards I got, and maybe a little bit of interpretation. And so far, all these, and the website I'm using, by the way, to get all this is cafeastrology.com. I'll write it somewhere. And that website is really good. If you want to learn more about astrology, or even if you just want to get an analysis on your own chart, that website, I'm not being sponsored by them, but that website is really a great resource. It has so much information and at the same time explains things in a way that even a non-astrologer can kind of understand this. But of course there are these specific terms like a sextile and a whatever these names are, and you know, this planet is moving into this with that planet and all that. And yeah, I don't know what that really means, but I'm writing it all down, and then I'm by writing down what happened that day, I can kind of relate that. And once I studied these specific terms, this vocabulary, then I can go back and look at my own experiences I've already had, because that way I can remember things much better. If I have a reference point, then I know, okay, this means that, and that happened that day, so that was because of that. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm already starting this in December, so that I am building these reference points ahead of time, so that when I get to these, I already have something to look at. And yeah, I also got like a natal chart analysis on that website, so they're really great. So yeah, check them out, give them some love. What else do I have? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That was my year. Now we're in December. Christmas is just around the corner. In November, I was buying a lot of books, and maybe also some DVDs, because part of my astrology study, I said I'm going to do this with Sailor Moon. And so I started buying the DVDs for the Sailor Moon Crystal, which came out for the 20th anniversary, where they completely redid the entire series. Well, so far they have only released, at least in Germany, 6 of the DVD boxes, and I already got number 1 and 3. Number 2 I'm getting for Christmas. And I have to say they are so much better than the original, even though they move at a much faster pace through the story. So I think it was already in like the 3rd or 4th episode of the first DVD box that Tuxedo Mask had figured out that Sailor Moon is Usagi. And he very soon revealed himself to her. So yeah, that didn't happen for quite a while in the original anime, but the artwork is so much better. It is so much closer to the original manga, and the artwork is just amazing. So much better than the one from now 25 years ago. And they have only released 6 DVD boxes, and they're up to the point where the Holy Grail appeared, and Sailor Saturn, and they fought against like Mistress Nine and the whole thing. So everything past that has not been released. I hope they still do that. I hope they did that. I didn't watch it when it first came out because it was only in Japanese with English subtitles, and I was not doing that. So anyway, Sailor Moon, getting it, watching it. Yeah. Another thing that I bought this month, and that is something related to my work, is the Dr. Zhivago musical CD. This is the German edition that just came out on Friday the 13th. And I love this for multiple reasons. First of all, it is an amazing musical. Sadly, it only had 10 or 11 shows on Broadway, and then it was cancelled because one of the critics didn't like it. Well, over here in Europe, everyone is crazy about it. It's sold out every time that they play it anywhere. And this was actually the first time this was done in Germany. By now we had, I think, 4 German productions, 4 different theaters doing this. Excuse me. And yeah, so this is the original German stuff, and they have now made a CD. And what's so special about this for me, I was actually in the room when this was produced, when they were singing, because I was able to be there with my camera and film a making of. So in a way, I'm kind of on this CD. Now, but seriously, these songs are so pretty. I cannot listen to this without crying like a baby. What Lucy Simon created is just amazing. She also made a musical about The Secret Garden from that movie that we all know and love. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. I hope that this musical will be brought to Germany as well and that we can see it here. I also got to meet Lucy Simon this year, and she is so nice, so humble, down to earth, and just, oh my god, such a cool person. So yeah, Dr. Zhivago, also one of my favorites of 2019. So let's look at this book stack here. Okay, something that I found on Marketplace is about German mythology, and this was published by one of the brothers Grimm. This one's by Jacob Grimm. It's from 1835, I believe, and it's part 1 of 3. It's quite a big book, and it is also written, I don't know if you can see that, in the Old German language, which means spelling is a bit different, the writing looks a lot different, and yeah, this may take some time to get through, because all this talk about like Norse mythology and everything, and Germanic mythology, I thought, what even is Germanic mythology? Does that only include the Norse Viking mythology, or do we have something of our own? And so that's why I saw this for $4, so I decided to get it, and that is something that I'm actually going to postpone until, let's see, 2020 and 21 are going to be my focus years, so 2022, I will dig into that, because that's just how I do. I set myself one goal, and before even starting working on that, I'm already setting the next goal for after that. And another book that I got for this, I'm going to just take a moment, because one of the topics that I find really interesting and that I would like to devote another focus year time to is mythology. And so my name is Lady Knight of Avalon, so yeah, the King Arthur legends, everything surrounding that I find very fascinating, and so I found this book, and that was on sale. I got this for, I think, like $8. Next time I checked, it was sold for $23, and the original price was $29.99. And this is, what's it called? Arthurian Magic, A Practical Guide to the Wisdom of Camelot. And this was advertised as a 12-month course. Now, it's quite a big book. Normally that would kind of put me off, because it is only writing in it, like barely any images. And usually even if I buy it, I probably wouldn't read it. But since this is really separated into 12 months with exercises and everything, I thought this would be a great way to get into the stories surrounding that. And so the Arthurian legends, German mythology, and possibly Egyptian mythology, that's going to be for the focus year studies once I complete the focus years that I set out to do for the next 2 years. I also, in November, got some disappointments. One of them was this book. This is Get Out of Your Own Way, a 31-day tarot challenge for writers and other creatives. And it's not a very big book. But this one, I'm sending it back, because what this is essentially you have an image, a prompt, and a page with, wait, can you see? With lines where you can write on. And that's like on every page, like that. But what do you see? These are black and white images. This looks like it was, like, I could have printed this on my own computer. But if you want me to journal about something and to really get into a picture and to see the details and to really write about something, why not give a color image? I mean, this would have probably worked very well as maybe a blog post, and then people can just print out the pictures, put them in their journal, and journal there. But in black and white, and yeah, these are just regular pictures. It's not like, well, I don't really see like a photographer's eye behind it. Yeah, this is going back. I'm not keeping this. Another thing that is going back is this astrology book about the Arabian parts. And I was hoping to get something like this. This is a book by a German astrologer, Andrea Buchholz, and what she did is she talks about these, well, they're called Arabian parts, Arabian points, sensitive points, different names, same thing. And this book talks about how to find them in your natal chart, because there's a bunch of formulas that you can just calculate and then find. Well, there's also software out there that does that for you. But with this book, I learned how to do that myself. And I have done quite a few readings for myself, family members, friends, finding these points. And then what this book does, it gives you all the different nations. What does that point mean in this house, then and like in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th house, whatever. Like each house has a different meaning for wherever the point is. And I was hoping that this book would give me something similar in English, since this one has only been published in German. But this focuses mainly on the fortune point, which is okay, but that's just one point out of very many. And that's not what I was looking for. So what I wanted was a lot more interpretations of the points, and this doesn't really give me that. I mean, this book was published when Bill Clinton was in his first term of presidency. So something that is really interesting, I have looked through this a little bit, was that it kind of gives a prediction on his re-election, because by this time when this was published, he hadn't been, that wasn't happening yet. But it talked about quite a few things about him, and we now know that these things came true. So that is very interesting if you take this as looking back on certain things and then reading the natal charts of these people. This is mostly celebrities in here. That is very interesting, looking at it from today's standpoint. But that's not enough for me for my astrology studies, so this is also going back. The one astrology book that I found that blew me away is, once again, I got this on Marketplace, quite big, and that's Parker's Astrology, The Definitive Guide to Using Astrology in Every Aspect of Your Life by Julia and Derek Parker. And I mean, I got this on Marketplace as a used copy, and the original price is $19.99, and it is worth every penny. This book is so great. I'm going to show you. Like, first of all, the designs in here, let's see if I can do this. So, I mean, it has lots of images. It gives you also the plans to each sign. There's always, wait, some images. This is put together kind of like the astrology journal that we all wish we had, but we can't really do because we don't know anything about it. So this is pretty much that. It's like an astrology journal. It teaches you how to do your own natal chart. It has very distinct definitions of what this planet and this house with this aspect means. So it's very detailed. And it has an ephemeris in the back that goes from 2021? No, from 1921 to 2000. And even though that's not, well, that was finished a long time ago, there are other ephemeris out there on Amazon that you can get. But this book is really a great starting point for someone who wants to learn astrology. This is a book that doesn't scare me away because it has so many images in there. This is actually quite inviting to someone like me. I'm a very visual person, and to have all these images of the signs. Let's see if I can find one. For example, here's Leo. And so you have this guy with his lion hat and everything, and it gives you a few like later description. Or here we have Aries. Let's see with the glare. So there are also like keywords in here that refer to the symbolism in the image. And for me, being a visual person, this is really good because I'm going to be able to memorize these images. And if that means I can take what I learn and kind of project it onto that image and that way remember it better, great. So for visual learners, definitely this book. Okay, now, and something that I got in November is a trilogy of books that have been on my wish list for about a year now. And when I put them on that list, they were at 27 euros each. And I thought, maybe they will go down in price, maybe there will be a discount or something, because why should I pay the original price, right? And instead, they only got more expensive by the month. And right now, they're at 37. And so I thought, am I going to buy them for this much? And something that I do every day is I really check my Amazon wish list every day because I compare the prices. And I want to see if anything changes, and the best way to see that is to really check that every day. And then in November, it was like mid-November, all of a sudden 2 of the 3 books were marked down by 66% each. And so I just had to get them. And what I'm talking about is, let's see if I can, these babies right here. I got all 3 of them. And I got the blue and the green one, so part 1 and 2. No, part 1 and 3. This is book 3. This one was 66% off, so of course I didn't hesitate. And they only had that offer for 2 days, so yeah. I got this one and the blue one first, and this one I got because Amazon was saying, well, there's only one left, and so, you know, panic sets in. What if it's really the last one? Better safe than sorry, so I bought it, and as soon as I had it, I had paid for it and everything, 10 more became available, and yeah, but oh well. I have all 3 of them now, and as a big fan of Lo Scarabeo decks, these books are really great. I have already like done my page markers and everything, and if you want to see like an in-depth flip through, or like a basic flip through, maybe not every page because that's a lot of pages, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments. And what these books are is basically a tarot encyclopedia. So for everyone who has been reading tarot for a while, these books will not offer anything new, really, but they are like everything that we know so far, like really put together in these 3 books, but kind of, yeah, scratching at the surface. So these books are a great starting point, especially for a beginner who has never read any of the tarot books. These books are awesome. And the first one gives, for example, every single card in here is analyzed. And for example, like this, like you get the card, you get additional cards from other decks, you get in detail some like keywords, you get to know more about the card, then also traditional interpretations, upright, reversed. And what I like is that they always offer more cards to look at. And of course they're all Lo Scarabeo decks in here. And what I love about it is that they feature some of the decks that I personally use. For example, the Lo Scarabeo Tarot is featured in here. Also the Pagan Tarot, which I bought for my birthday but haven't used up yet, is in here. And what I also like for the big image, they did not use the typical RWS like Pixies artwork. They don't have that in here at all, I think. So this is all other images, other decks, and yeah, many different decks, like the same cards, different decks to compare. So this is also like the kind of tarot journal that we all wish we had, but we don't really do, or not all of us anyway. I haven't yet. So this is really great. If you only want to get one book, then this might be a standalone book. The second book talks about spreads, how to read cards, how to do readings for yourself, how to do it as a business, and what else? Yeah, some techniques, some questions, and that was pretty much it. So this is really the how-to read book. And the third one goes into, let me look at the table of content. So it talks about esoteric disciplines like Kabbalah, alchemy, astrology, numerology. It gives an advanced view of the cards. It also has the Myers-Briggs system in here with the court cards. It gives a little bit of information on shadow work and free associations, elemental dignities, tarot magic. And it also talks about professional tarot reading, business, and in one of those, I think it was in the blue one, talks also about social media and stuff. So yeah, like I said, nothing that we haven't heard anywhere else. Like, these books are really just everything put together in one place, but they are a nice addition to every tarot library, and I'm looking forward to going through these books. Now, in the reviews on Amazon, I have read that especially the red book has a lot of typos, so I'm going to see about that. But since English is my second language, maybe I won't find as many. I don't know. But anyway, I'm so glad I have these books now, and I'm going to enjoy them. Another thing that I bought for myself as an early Christmas present is a piece of jewelry that I'm wearing. And this is a little bracelet that I found on Facebook. And what this is actually, it has like all these different things on here, and that's a representation of our solar system. I will put up an image to give you a better look at it. But you really have all of the planets on here, including the Moon and Pluto. And they're all in the correct order. So let me see. So the white one here is the beginning. That's Mercury, Venus, Earth, the Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Saturn even has a little ring on it. Uranus, Neptune, and an itty bitty tiny Pluto. And the black in between is volcanic stone, and the 3 golden marbles, I don't know. But I saw this on Facebook and I thought this is perfect, especially like this is so fitting for my astrology studies. And yeah, now I have the entire solar system with me to go. And the fun thing about this is the sun is not on here, because they say when you're wearing it, since you're in the middle of it, you are the sun. So yeah, I thought this is just a very cute idea and I didn't hesitate. I got it right away. Also, it said 50% off. And so I got this for just $14.95. And it was here very quickly. It was from a German company. And if I find the link again, I'll post it below. So maybe they might still have some. I don't know. Or maybe they also have something like this in America, maybe. Yeah, so this was pretty much my 2019. Yeah, so now there's only Christmas left. And yeah, a couple more days of work, then I get Christmas off. I'll continue with my astrology journal, and then on January 1st, I'm gonna start with my studies. And I will do updates on that for sure, because one way that I found is really good for me to remember these things is actually talking about them. If I'm able to explain it, that means I'm also able to remember it. So I will share my experiences and what I've learned. And my cat wants to come in again. I don't know if you can hear her. Yeah, she doesn't like being locked out, but since I didn't want to risk her running around with the tripod here. Yeah, so is there anything else? I'm out of things to say. So once again, thank you very much for watching, especially if you've made it this far. Thank you very much. Mwah. Thank you to everyone who has been here on my journey, supporting me during this year. Thank you to everyone who comments under my videos and who takes the time to watch the videos. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I hope to also see you here on my channel, and I'm going to be visiting you on your channels in 2020. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year, and that being said, I'm already going to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, even though I'm probably going to make a few more videos, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!